hello and laughed.
He may or may not use this.
I know. I see some of the words that are used, and I'm like, meh.
But I do know that both he and I use the same technique of just like trying things that work. Like we can.
Like you're just throwing up
We see
Hail Marys and you get
yeah,
rejected.
we see high point areas and high point letters, and we just try to make something work.
Jam things in there and make up words.
And then I'm often surprised, like,
sticks.
oh, what's this? I don't know what that means.
So then you look it up. It's more
you just
like
press
a
on the bottom right corner.
learning situation.
Yeah, press on the bottom right corner, and it tells you what it means.
Happy Sunday.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Why do you do this to me?
Happy Sunday. This is what happens all day. We have these conversations all day long.
So really, I should be prepared at any moment that you could just be like, you could just have us live on whatever.
They're wearing clothes. So
that's good. That's good.
A bonus.
I wear clothes all the time. I do have an adult son that lives at home, so yes, I do.
Yes,
I
gotta
do
wear
wear
the clothing. Happy Sunday. We have church today at 4 p.m. Online church. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So join us on Facebook or YouTube, Union City Church.
Beautiful outside today.
Beautiful outside. What else? Anything else interesting? What's your favorite color?
I don't know. You know what I was thinking this morning? Do you
not have a favorite color? Is that a codependent trait of not being able to pick a color?
No,
because you love them all equally.
No, I realized I like a dusty rose, whatever.
Oh yeah, you do.
And so I bought like a bunch of stuff that was kind of in that tone, and then I realized
everything.
All these things match. I didn't realize I liked this color.
Yeah, this color. That is a immature ruby.
That's more of a purple.
But yes, you have this color that's not really a color. Where's your phone?
But this morning I woke up thinking, I don't even know. I haven't looked at it today.
That's the color.
This morning I woke up thinking, how nice it is that you never get sick of me. That's what I woke up thinking this morning.
I'm glad that you have that perception. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's a good perception to have. I think it's a healthy perception to have.
I woke up thinking, oh, it's so nice. I had a very vivid dream last night.
Like, I would be like a dog. Yeah. So if I put you in the trunk for 5 hours with the dog and came back 5 hours later, the only person happy to see me would probably be the dog.
You shouldn't be putting your wife in the trunk.
I wouldn't ever do that. Unless...
Highly frowned upon. Highly frowned upon.
Unless I got sick of you. We might go for a trunk ride.
I don't think you really do get sick of me, though. Which is funny, because I probably get sick of myself.
I bet you do.
Probably. I'm sick of... Our house feels like it's getting smaller.
I feel like it's enlarging because of the weather. It's so much nicer, and we have a little back pergola.
I do love this.
I roughed. I put the...
I love the sitting area out back. I am enjoying sitting outside.
We have a little fire... What is that? Fire table?
Yeah.
All right. Let's
You're
get at her. I'm sick. Oh, I got a nice short one.
Oh, that's nice.
Boundaries. May the 17th. COVID. Hey, we have an announcement on Monday. Big announcement for something coming up in June. Yeah. Take that. All right, boundaries. Sometimes life and people seem to push and push. Hey. Because we are so used to pain, we may tell ourselves it doesn't hurt. Because we are so used to people controlling and manipulating it, we tell ourselves there is something wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with us. Life is pushing and hurting to get our attention. Sometimes the pain and pushing are pointing toward a lesson. The lesson may be that we've become too controlling. Or maybe we're being pushed to own our power to take care of ourselves. The issue is boundaries. If something or somebody is pushing us to our limits, that's exactly what's happening. We're being pushed to our limits. We can be grateful for the lesson that's here to help us explore and set our boundaries. Prayer for today. Today, I will give myself permission to set the limits I want and need to set in my life. Amen. I like that there's limits, because I think sometimes our boundaries have no limits. So I think that's an interesting realization, that we do get pushed to our limit. And I like how it says we are at our limit and we can recognize that. And then I think the key is being able to take responsibility and responding in a assertive manner that is healthy. Assertive being I count and you count, and being able to bring stuff up when people are pushing us to the end of our boundaries. What do you think?
I'm trying to think of an example. The only one I can think of, though, is a few weeks ago when I said, John, I'm so glad we got along today.
That voice just made a response in me of anxiety.
No, but
when you say my name like that.
Remember when I said,
John,
I'm so glad we got along today. Obviously, we must have not been getting along the day before.
That happens.
However, I need to go to the grocery store and I'd like to go alone.
I remember I felt a little bit rejected. Not that I wanted to go, but just because you said it, I felt...
This family doesn't seem to, do anything by itself. So
even Jordan.
If we leave the house, we all leave the house.
Jordan's being very clingy. And he's like, he'll go to the bathroom and say, are you guys going anywhere, though? Or are you just staying here?
When we have our Zoom calls in the evening.
We might run out. He's like, well, wait for me.
We have our Zoom call in the evening, and he's like, what time are you guys done?
Mm-hmm. I think that's cool. But I think that what do we get pushed to the edge of? And I think most of it is our emotions. And so in healthy people, in recovery people, we start to begin to feel properly and our emotions are all over the place instead of being shoved and pushed in a corner and denied. And so I know that all of our emotions are God-given. They are good for us. There's no bad emotions. There might be some unpleasant emotions, and there are pleasant emotions, but they speak to us. So take the time when you're at your limit, when you've been pushed, going, God, what do you want to speak to me? My emotions are up here, and what do you want to show me? What do you want to heal in me? How do you want to direct me? Am I reacting in fear? Am I being consumed by this emotion of anger or resentment or sadness? And then how do you want me to be? I think that's a great question, just asking God, what do you want me to be? I'm at my limit right now. And then reaching out to God and getting out of self. Mm-hmm. But I think it's good stuff about boundaries, what they are, how to...
I think it's a hard thing if you've lived with no boundaries, if you've never actually spoken up for yourself and said and I think we can kind of flip-flop.
Well, let me interrupt. We set our boundaries, and then in addiction or codependent relationships, those boundaries get changed. Mm-hmm. And that's how we actually play God, is that we actually set the rules, set the boundaries, and when they need to be changed, because this happens, there's stuff that I swore I would never do.
Right.
And I did them by the time I was 20. And I know that people get into unhealthy codependent relationships. And I remember getting sober in 2005, coming back to the homestead and going this is a mess. And then I realized I lived through all this, but I was drunk. Mm-hmm. And I was high, and I don't remember half of the stuff. You were coherent most of the time. You were a partner without substances as a solution. So
I think that's really hard though when you love someone or you care about someone, and then you're like, okay, they're not gonna use substances in my home, and then however down the road you find out that they're using
in your home or
bringing stuff into your home,
or they're gone for 3 days.
Yeah, and then you have to actually make really hard decisions. And I think I really feel the most for parents. I think that as a parent, I think that's the hardest thing. And one of the things that I became aware of when the kids were younger is that it's easier to stick with what I want than to try to roll it back. And the internet usage was, or the internet usage and computer time was a big part of that. Of if we let them play video games for, school nights, And then if we got lax about it because let's say things were hard and we just didn't have the energy to fight with the kids, so then one week you let the kids play video games all school nights. Coming back later, you're like, okay, now you're
Remember
not.
we did no TV Thursday, or was it Tuesday? I think it was no TV Thursday.
We did no TV Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
We did it 2 days a week for a long time, and we dropped it down to 1 day.
We should go back to that.
Good. I don't know.
No media, no data.
Earth-shattering research yesterday I saw on the news that online communications are up.
No
in this time.
Kidding.
Jordan leaves the news on, and I saw it like
Everybody's
3 times.
Data stream went from 40 gigs to like 3,000 gigs.
Interviewing some serious-looking blonde woman, and I was like, is this real?
So newsworthy.
Who paid for this research?
So newsworthy.
But I do think that it's important to realize that, like, as I go through life, that if I think of someone was talking about grandkids one time, and I think, oh man, I can't wait till I have grandkids. But then they were saying that like the grandkids were just basically showing up and then they were watching the grandkids, and I think, oh, I probably did that to your parents.
Oh my goodness. Did we ever?
But then where's the line? How do you draw the line between?
I think inviting a mentor or a sponsor into this process to help you run your life, going to God and going, what's a good boundary, being able to have wisdom that you didn't have before, and really understanding and not get into control with boundaries, and not being God about boundaries. Let God set your boundaries and All right. That's all I have to say and think about. We're going to meditate and pray upon this throughout the day. I try to remember this throughout the day.
I know.